You might have used a website builder before to build yourself a website, where it's just a list of templates, you choose one, and then you just replace whatever text there is with your own images and so on. You have somewhat of a choice as to what design you want and a little bit of customization options. But how is a completely custom website built from scratch? If you go to any website, you can view the source code. Now, if you look at the link here, you can see what kind of code was used to make this page. So right here, it says downloads file.php. That tells me this was programmed using PHP. Anytime you see HTML, you can see here that these end in HTML. And if I open this page, this link here will also end in HTML. You can see that. Now, if this is hosted publicly, it may not necessarily say that HTML in there, but if you see it, that means that it's just a very basic website and there's no programming involved in it. If you right click on any page and scroll down, you can view the source code. Now, this is all the code that it took to make this page, everything that's publicly available at least. And they even made like a nice little artsy kind of thing up here. So if we take all this, hit Control A and Control C to copy it, and now if I put that into a code editor and now save it, I'm going to save it on the desktop as just test.html. Because it has that HTML extension, you can open it in the browser, and you can see I've kind of duplicated or redone that website, and everything is still there. I'm actually kind of surprised that all the images are showing up because I don't have these files. They must be pulling them from the internet. Now this link completely changed. It doesn't contain the original link anymore. Now it's just a file path and then the name that I gave it here, test.html. So this website right here now is not public. It's only available on my computer. Nobody else can look at this right now, just me, because this is not hosted publicly. So there's a lot of different programming languages here. So HTML, which is also the extension here that you just saw, is kind of the framework. If you think of it in terms of building a house, it's kind of the framing, all the woodworking of a website. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like, I'm going to go to my own website here. So this is HTML right down here. So this here is the body of the website. So if I just open that website now, let's just take a look at it. So the body is this whole thing. Everything that I'm framing with the mouse right now, that's the body. So the entire page, these are called divs. So this, for example, that I've just called wrapper, that's this right here, this little section here. So using code, you can build a completely custom website. This is completely custom made. There's not another one out there that's like this. And you couldn't use a website builder to build this exact same thing because it wouldn't let you customize that much. Now, yes, it is a very simple website. So it's also very easy to kind of demonstrate and show you a little bit. You can see here that I've given these things an ID. So going down here, like this one right here, it's a div, which is basically just an object that you create. And then you can put things inside of that object. And then you can use the ID here, I've just called it wrapper, to target it with the CSS. So going up to the CSS here, this is all the styling. It's inside style tags. So right here is all the styling for wrapper. Let's say I take that styling out. So now I've basically deleted it. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back to my site here and refresh. And there you go. See, now that wrapper styling is gone, and that's what it looks like. Everything is kind of out of place. The logo and everything is all over the place, and it looks completely different. The wrapper is still there, but the styling for it is gone. You can actually go up here to developer tools, and here you can disable certain things. Okay, so here I've gone to the publicly hosted version of this site, and now I'm going to go to developer tools up here, and then to CSS, and disable all CSS. So now with all the styling, with all this code basically ineffective, and just HTML present. Now this is, if I just made this website or tried to make it just using HTML by itself, this is what it would look like. All the information, everything, all the links and everything is there. So this is basically HTML. It's just the framework. So all your text and everything you need for the very basic functionality for all your content. And then the CSS is what gives it the look. So if we re-enable the CSS, see, that's all the things that CSS has done to the site to make it look nice. Now going on from there, you have JavaScript. So right here is a little game that I made in the past. It's called a Pong game. So this is made using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So again, if you start this game here, you have this ball that bounces around the screen. And then you have to use your mouse to hit the ball so it keeps bouncing. Every time it goes up by 10 points. So if I was to now go up here and disable JavaScript. See, now JavaScript is disabled. I'd refresh the page and absolutely nothing functions. The score here is a question mark. The paddle no longer works. The ball is frozen. And it's just a static page with just absolutely nothing going on. So this right now is using HTML and CSS. The HTML is what gives it all this text, this button here, the ball as well, but without CSS, that ball wouldn't even be a ball, it would just be nothing. So you use CSS to give it the styling. This background here is an image. And then the design here on the button, the paddle, the ball, all require CSS to even appear. Without CSS, they wouldn't be there. And the JavaScript is the programming that is required to make this game function. So now with it disabled, absolutely nothing works. If I re-enable it, then the game will start to function again. And so now I have to start the game again, and it functions. Now let's just take a look at this code. So to look at code, you need a code editor program. I like to use Sublime Text. So here is the JavaScript to make this game function. It is very complex. There's a lot going on here. Yeah, so this gets very complex, very difficult to understand. So there's JavaScript, and then it goes on to PHP. So because this file has an extension of PHP, you can't just double click on it and open it in a browser. So this is just an idea of what PHP looks like. It is in a way a little bit similar to JavaScript, but also very different. It uses a lot of dollar signs and variables. It uses a lot of dollar signs and functions as well. So you have a lot of if this is the condition, then do that. Anytime you have a form on a website, that form has to be submitted to a database. And PHP is also required to be able to grab everything that you type into each field in the form and then submit it into that database. So the programming to make even just a form work and submit everything that you have entered is very complex. But that is basically it.